Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Two Dudes Cinematic Universe, 2DCU. And today, we don't have just my ugly face and Kevin's ugly face. We have a special guest, Trevor. I won't say his last name because you're going to probably want to find him after this and beat the crap out of him. Yeah. Because he is here today to tell us all about why me and Kevin should watch anime. So stay tuned for that. But as per usual, you can find us on YouTube, our YouTube channel, 2DCU. You can find us anywhere where podcasts are held, except for Apple, but we're coming, Apple.
We're coming.
Son of a bitch, we're coming.
Yes.
So
you will
stay
be
tuned
mine.
for Apple. In the meantime, Spotify is free. Just go make an account.
Just go make an account.
That voice down there that's rudely interrupting left and right, he really wants a haircut compliment, so give him one in the comments. He's been begging for one. That's my co-host, Kevin.
Especially Audible listeners. Anyone that's just audio, I need the haircut compliment.
Just assume it's really nice because it is. And that guy, that smiling face over there, that is Trevor. Like I said, Trevor, say hello to the people.
Hello, people. I'm hoping that I don't make anybody too upset with any weird or incorrect information today. So hopefully it all goes smoothly.
We're kind of in the minority. People like anime. Like I will say, I think we're kind of in the minority.
That's one of the things. I'm kind of scared about the people that are really into anime because I really like anime, but there are like some really hardcore fans out there that like if I say something that's not 100% correct or like mispronounce a name, right, I'm going to get crucified in the comments for it.
I feel like that's true. I feel like anime fans are hardcore, so you have to represent all of anime. So a lot of pressure on those shoulders.
Yeah.
Not liking something is so much easier to defend than liking something. So we really have the easier job here.
Yes.
Like we said, we are 2DCU. We're excited to have Trevor. Trevor's a longtime childhood best friend of mine, and Kevin can't stand him.
When did we first met? Like I think sophomore year of college or something. When you had that place on 8th.
Yep, that was the first time we met, and we've been sworn enemies ever since.
Yep. Ever since, it's just been a declaration of war.
We just knew that this would be a heated rivalry we would renew here. But let's get right into it, guys. Kevin's favorite segment. It's really complicated. That's why he loves it so much. What are you watching?
But what's the name of the segment?
The name of the segment is What You Watching, Kevin, because spaces are stupid. We got to get Trevor in on one of these graphics. Maybe I have in the future. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't even edited yet. Maybe Trevor's on a graphic. Probably not, because I have a job interview to borrow, and I don't have time to do that. So probably
future
not.
JD. Good luck on your job interview. I'm sure it went well.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'll probably be like CEO of like a Fortune 500 company.
Excavators, JD, not escalators. Excavators.
Yes, very important.
Escalators is not the thing they sell.
Yeah, I know. I did that when I was talking to Trevor, and I'm like, I think they like sell escalators. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully, the job interview people don't see this in the time after the job. It's excavators. I know it's excavators. I know it is. But yeah, so we'll start with our guest here today. Trevor, what you been watching this week? Any movies, any TV? What in general, since you haven't been on, it doesn't even need to be this week. Like what's been your shows?
So what I'm rocking right now is My Hero Academia, crew neck, hooded, all the jazz for all the weather, except for right now because it's extremely hot and I'm sweating like crazy. But
it looks great.
I was going to say you're indoors, but yeah.
So I've been watching My Hero Academia, and the seasons are coming out the episodes are coming out on Funimation weekly. But unfortunately, I'm only a dub fan. I don't watch the subs, so like I don't do the Japanese with the subtitles and things like that. I don't like to read what I'm watching. So I've been watching that.
Already learning. I didn't know what that was until
I just caught up on a couple new episodes because they get released and then they get dubbed like a week later. So I'm kind of watching on delay.
That's interesting.
But we do have young Midoriya or Deku learning how to use his new quirks that are like black, like masks that come out of his knuckles. And it is like exhilarating. They just got done with their work study program with the #1 new hero Endeavor, Midoriya or Deku, Todoroshi, and Bakugo.
Sure.
All of their skills have like gone crazy off the charts.
Big four, that's what I call them.
Yeah, the big four.
No.
and
sure.
and it's starting to get crazy. It's starting
All
to get
right.
crazy.
Well, you calm down with your anime talk.
Yeah.
We'll get there in a second. That's exciting. I know me and Trevor watched Ted Lasso together. We will get to Ted Lasso. We will do a little spoiler discussion of Ted Lasso because I think all three of us are pretty much on the same page that show is the best thing going on TV right now. Other than Ted Lasso, though, Kevin, what have you been watching? Anything? Playing, reading? Ugh.
No. Oh well, I'm finishing up the Ed Snowden autobiography, which is awesome. If you haven't read that, go pick that up. But I restarted Dexter last week.
Oh, all right.
Just out of nowhere. Just have
Getting
fun
ready
with
for
it.
the new season, isn't there?
Yeah, whenever that is ever gonna happen. But I fucking love that show, man. It's so great. And I know I'm in the minority for that, but I even love the ending for it.
Oh my, okay, never mind.
I love the ending.
Yeah, the ending
it's just
sucks.
Yeah. So I don't know. If it was out of all like the serious shows that I watch regularly, it might be my favorite, just because it's so like down to earth and it's not like kingdoms fighting each other. It's just a serial killer and he's the good guy and it's just great. Yeah.
I love Dexter.
I really liked Dexter. I don't know if this is like spoiler alert or not, but like
if you haven't seen Dexter,
once Rita died, I stopped. Like
how dare you? Season 4 earned season 5. You should have kept going.
I was so horribly and desperately in love with the character
That's
Rita
very true.
that like I was actually heartbroken and was like, you have lost my viewership.
Yeah. Harrison's just sitting there in the baby blood. It's just brutal.
Yeah, that's the best season by far, the Trinity Killer for sure.
Season 4 is the best season.
Season 5 is that the one with like the religious fanatic?
I thought that was 6.
6? I like that one a lot too. I thought 5 was actually kind of weak coming back from that. But I love that show. The new season that's coming is pretty far out there. They just kind of announced it. So I feel like we're quite a bit away. It's very rewatchable. So not a bad just pick up show. Anything else? Anything else you've been
surprised, mother?
Yeah, Trevor and I touched on it earlier. I mean, I want to keep up with Rick and Morty, but I'm not. Are they done with episodes? We're not sure. Yeah.
They take a break though, don't they? Isn't that like a normal?
Yeah, but I thought it's like a couple of weeks because it's definitely been more than 2 weeks, right?
Yes, it's definitely.
I have not caught up.
It's definitely been a little bit longer than it should be, and like this season started out pretty strong. I really liked it. First 1 through 3 episodes, everything's kind of tapered off. I've gotten no noob, no Mr. Poopy Butthole. The staples of what I want, I've gotten none of, and it's okay, but it's not like blowing my socks off.
Yeah. We talked about that a little bit last week. How it started really strong. The first episode in the season is like a top 3 or 5 of mine. I loved it. We talked about it, like we said last week. Planetaria one was great, or Plano, whatever that was great. But it's keyed off, and you're right. Me and Trevor kind of talked about this just a little bit because we were hanging out yesterday about there's none of these kind of fun. It's not hard. Just give us a Mr. Poopy Butthole episode, and we'll love it. We'll love it. And if you don't watch Rick and Morty, you're like, what are they talking about? But yes, I need to catch up with Rick and Morty. That's the problem, though, is it's tailed off enough to where it's like, I'll catch up. I'll binge them at some point. But it used to be got to get to the TV on a Monday. It just isn't right now, which is a little bit of a bummer. But like any animated show like that, it's hard to capture the magic that you get in the first couple seasons.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it was just so good. And it's still good. It's still better than most television. It really is. It's still really clever. But
I like how they've sprinkled in the intergalactic cable once every episode or once you get a commercial.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to the Kind of Funny podcast. I don't know if we hype up other podcasts on this one or not, but they had
Kind of Funny could use our support.
They had Justin Roiland or whatever his name on, and he said, he was like, there are going to be a couple times where people are going to be upset because they think they're going to get intergalactic cable and we're just not going to give it to you. But I think it's kind of funny how they've sprinkled it in there.
They sprinkled it. You still get taste. I still I would like a full episode.
Yeah, me too.
I like those episodes a lot. Kevin, I wanted to ask you specifically. I don't think Trevor watches this. Maybe I can try to convince him right now. Have you been keeping up with DC's Titans on HBO Max?
I haven't started season 3 yet.
Okay, so I won't talk any spoilers then or anything.
Okay.
I have not watched this last Thursday. Elevator pitch for Titans, if you haven't seen it. we all remember Teen Titans growing up. It's that, but live action and much more serious and much more dark and very DC. It's very comic booky. There are characters that seem kind of cheesy, but for the most part, like it's a step above anything
On
that
CW.
does CW or a Netflix Marvel show or anything like that. Like production value, it's pretty freaking cool. And the plots are always fun, and it's just cool to see some of these characters. This is no spoiler, but you get Slade. Is he Deathstroke?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get him in one of the seasons, and I always loved him in the cartoon, and I like him as a character, and he's been kind of introduced in the DCU a little bit with the Snyder cut stuff, post-credit scenes. Different guy. This does not tie in DCU. It's its own thing. But I would say if you like comic book stuff, you should watch it. It's a step above all that other stuff, and it's a step below the Marvel shows, but a step above everything else. Yeah. And the characters are really cool. Like I really like all the Robins, and that's not really a spoiler either because Robin's in it. But there's a few different versions of Robin, and that's always been cool storylines I don't think you ever really get to touch with. We never got it in Nolan or any other Batman thing, so it's pretty cool to see that. Trevor, it looked like you had a hand.
I had a question, but I didn't want to interrupt. So Beast Boy, is he in this or no?
He is.
Yeah.
So is it that feels like the only thing where compared to Cyborg and the two girls.
Cyborg's not in it.
Oh, okay. So either way.
It's not the same exact as the cartoon character. There's a lot of
characters. It's a weird, hard thing to pull off in live action, especially with something for a TV show budget and time and things like that. But
he's only a animal during the fight scenes, basically.
The character is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
You're a little worried about it because it's he can be kind of like the comic relief, but that's kind of tough to write for and not make it feel cheesy. Yeah. I actually do like his character, and the actor does a pretty decent job. Again, this is not a spoilers. If anything, I'm just trying to get people to watch it. That he only is a tiger where we're at in the show. He's never
right. That's also true.
It's like he can be something else. He thinks. So I imagine that might be like a character thing.
Yeah.
And it's not great, the fight scene, but it's just a tiger that they very much CGI and make green. And those fight scenes are great. The thing about TV, superhero stuff, without a budget, it's really hard to do powers.
It is.
The best fights, there's some really good fight scenes in this, and it's all Robin, and it's all Slade, and it's all the dudes, because they actually do some pretty good hand-to-hand stuff, because that's much more easy to choreograph on a budget. And I do think the show's got a decent budget, but there's some powers, and
no one's done it better than Heroes, baby.
Honestly, I never watched that.
Oh my god.
Either way, you should watch Titans.
Yeah.
If you haven't, it's a little cheesy, and if you're not a crazy comic book person, then maybe not, because it's comic booky. It really is. There's a lot going on, a lot of characters. I would say I like most of the characters, but I don't like them all. There are definitely too many characters at times. There's a couple that seem cheesy.
A lot of them are just inputted for no reason, but whatever.
It's why do we need this character? And it also, some characters mess up the scale, which is something DC's always had a problem with. It's Robin's kicking ass. And then there's also this guy who, no spoilers, but has laser bullets and, stuff like that, where it's just how is this an even fight? Guns don't work. I mean, that's nothing new to a DC project, but guns don't work against people that can easily be killed by guns. But other than that, season 3 is awesome. Season 3 has been my favorite so far. There's a whoa moment you don't expect relatively early. Very cool.
Okay.
If you haven't seen the trailers, they're doing a famous comic book storyline, a Robin comic book storyline that's pretty clear in the trailers, but I won't get into it. Cool. I like that show. If you have time, I'd watch it.
How many episodes in is it?
4.
Okay.
I've watched 3 of them.
Cool.
And last week was a bombshell. So I'm actually very eager. I've been busy, this weekend, getting my party on this weekend. I haven't watched a lot of TV, but that might be something I do tonight. But all right, before we get into Ted Lasso, have you guys been watching What If, the Marvel cartoon?
I watched the first 2 episodes.
Okay, you're 2 in. Kevin, have you watched them all?
I've watched them all. Yeah.
I'm 1.5 in. I know that sounds weird. I
Oof.
watched the first one, and I was about 10 minutes in the second one, and I had I was like waiting to leave for something, and I thought I had enough time to finish, and I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just lead off right with my quick thoughts, and I would like to hear what you guys have to say. I'm underwhelmed by this, and people really, really like it. And I guess I'm just underwhelmed because I really, really want to like it. And the first one, to be fair, I've watched one, and even like the 10 minutes of the other one didn't really get me, but I've watched one. So like, it's probably not fair, and I will watch them. I'm underwhelmed. The first one was kind of like, okay, they're rewriting the movie, but it's pretty much the same, and it's fast, and it's fine. It's fine. It's not must-see TV for me, but maybe it'll turn into it. I hope it does. What do you guys think?
That was my initial thought with episode 1 was, okay, so it's the same thing, but just different people are basically saying the same things and doing the same actions.
It's Peggy. I mean, it's Captain America with Peggy. That's not a spoiler.
Exactly. Like it's I don't know. It was just, and then I started episode 2, and I watched it, but I was so disinterested with episode 1 that I wasn't even really paying that close attention to. I don't know. I think it's like cool. I think episode 2 is the one that has Thanos in it, and that was kind of like fun and cool to like see Thanos as something different. But it was like fun and cool for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then I was like, okay, well, this is, I don't know. It's not really my thing. I think it's a cool idea, but it's just not. It hasn't grabbed onto me yet. I need to maybe try again.
I think the episodes should be shorter. They don't need to be a half an hour. Especially for because none of this matters. Like, this is all like literally what if, but it didn't.
Cool concept, but I don't need to see it.
This could be YouTube videos. This could be like shorts on Disney Plus. This didn't need to be a TV show. And I mean, obviously the demographic is kids. It's like the animation's cute and funny and very colorful and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, it's 23-year-old men.
I guess. I don't know. The stakes aren't there because the multiverse doesn't matter, and it's a cartoon. So it is fun. I'll continue to watch it every week probably when it comes out on Wednesdays. But
See, I agree, and no, I knew all that going in. Like, it has no stakes. You know all that.
Of course.
I thought it'd be more fun, and you said it's fun. I'm like, to me, it really hasn't been that fun. Like it's.
I think the episodes get better. Every episode's gotten better.
Again, an episode and a half. I probably really should have watched all of them.
Small sample size.
Sample size. But just the tone of it was like, it's serious-ish. It's like it needed to be more fun or like all in on serious. And I think you nailed it right there, Kevin. It's too long. The first one, at least for me, I was like, like 35 minutes, and I'm kind of like checking my phone. I'm like. All right, I get what's going on. Yep, we are watching First Avenger with a couple changes that are like, oh, that's cool, in 30 minutes. We are watching an hour and a half movie in 30 minutes.
It's a lack of consequence. Like, you spend that 35 minutes and then it's done, and you go, well, I guess that was kind of fun, but like that's all it's ever going to be. That's all it ever was. And then it's like, well, then I've dedicated so much time and energy into the Marvel universe that when I watch things, I kind of just now expect them to all fall into line together. And this is one of those first things where it's like, no, this has nothing to do with that. We're just making it for fun. And it's like, well, I guess that's cool, but that's like, that's
not why I watch Marvel.
No.
Right. Yeah. It's the continuity. Yeah. It's the continuity. And, what was I going to say? I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time wanting to go back and watch it. And I will, but it's almost like, I got to go do it.
Yeah.
And you know what it was too? This is what I was going to say. I kind of lost my thought. If this came out during the pandemic, like early on when we were thirsty for Marvel, I think I would have loved it. Now we're starting to get the movies. Like, we'll talk about it in a second. We got Shang Chi this Friday. Like, we just got Black Widow, like Spider-Man trailer. We got the TV shows. It felt like the timing wasn't great. If we got this when we were just thirsty for Marvel, I think we probably all would have been like, oh, this is awesome.
Yes.
Heck yeah. Now it's like, we're starting to get the good stuff again. Like, it's kind of the same with the shows. Once we start to get the movies, I'm like, I'm not nearly as excited for Hawkeye as I was Loki, because when Loki came out, I hadn't seen a movie for a year and a half.
Yeah.
So I think a little bit of timing probably has done it a little bit of a disservice too. We'll move on though, because we want to get into the heart of what you're watching. and that is our boy Ted Lasso. This is I watched the episode with Trevor. I have not heard your thoughts on the episode yet, Kevin, but I'm sure all three of us are pretty much on the same page. We really, really like this show. Trevor, if you just want to maybe touch on before we get in the episode, like Ted Lasso, what are you thinking about it just as a show? Like, when did you find it and how do you like it?
My brother, I think it was out for like maybe an episode or two, and my brother was watching it and was like, you gotta try this. And I had seen, actually, weirdly enough, Jason Sudeikis do like a little press thing on Good Morning America one morning, just like in passing. Mm-hmm. And the concept I thought was really funny and all that kind of jazz. So just jumped right in, like fanboy. I'm just a fanboy. Yeah. Like I've had conversations with other people where they say like, oh, I don't know about this, I don't know about that. After watching an episode, I said, they have my 100% confidence that I'm never going to question something until I watch how it ends up happening. Like, I'm not going to try to nitpick this because they've done nothing wrong to me yet. And I give them 1,000% like confidence that they're going to do right by the show every time.
Yeah, it's kind of the Kevin Feige effect. Yeah, believe. Yeah, that's what me and Kevin were kind of discussing. Like, it's the Kevin Feige effect. I don't know if multiverse is going to work, but it's Kevin Feige. You got my trust.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Roy Kent not being on the team. Ooh, I like him on the team. I don't know how it's going to work. Calm down. It's Ted Lasso. They got to figure it out. So with that, we got our Ted Lasso spoilers banner. If you haven't seen the episode, skip this part. Wait till it's gone. You can hear the rest of our show, which is going to have pretty much no spoiler stuff from after this. Because we are not. I don't even know if I mentioned this. We are not doing a movie review. We're doing a couple fun segments at the end instead, because we want to get ready for Shang Chi, and there really hasn't been anything worth reviewing. But yes, just look at the thing. Skip till spoilers are over. We will let you know when that is. Kevin, since I had already kind of watched it with Trevor, I know how he thinks about it. What did you think about this episode?
Oh man, this is definitely up there for best episode of the season, at least. Great ending. We got to figure out. I think something's wrong with his kid while he was on the couch in the therapist's office. So I'm excited to see
more than what we know. You think?
Yeah, okay, I do.
Interesting.
Because all right, my theory being he took that phone call earlier, mm-hmm. and he was freaking out. He's like, "Is his mom there or whatever?" And he passes off as his kid not having lunch, but it still seems to me like his kid is somehow involved with something bad, and he's freaking out.
See, that could be very well true. To me, I read it as he was telling the truth. He just, like, the panic attack and all that comes from just like something as simple as like, I couldn't be there to like give my kid lunch when he needed it. Like, I think he was telling the truth there, and I could be very wrong, and you could be onto something. I didn't really read it that way. I read it as like, oh, something's wrong. Like, I'm all the way over here. Oh, it's just lunch. Oh, okay. But still, like, it kind of got him thinking like, man, like, I'm away from my wife and kids, or wife and kid. And even though it's not his wife, like, as much as he loves what he's doing, I think in the back of his head, he knows like this isn't sustainable. As good of a guy as I am, I need to be there as a dad. I think that's kind of what sparked some of the anxiety attack we saw there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Trevor, thoughts on that?
What I think is so crazy about the show is that, like, that's the first thing that came to Kevin's mind when asked about, like, what do you think, what he thought of the episode. But it's like, there are like two other things that were like really big. I thought that like there's so many layers. This thing is the perfect ham sandwich, and it's like a 35-minute long episode. You know what I mean? So like, I really liked. I liked Roy Kent joining the team. I liked like the team is starting to play better. He's got all of these different types of answers. He tells Jamie like, "Hey, you're a douche. Like you just have to be a douche. Like only when we're supposed to." And then it's super funny when they flip him the bird, and it's like it's gonna be. You'll know when it. You'll know when it's time to be it, and it's so good.
I was actually quite curious myself. It's like, I was actually wondering that myself.
Yeah.
That was so funny. Roy Kent. We kind of talked about it a little bit last week. Just keep touching Trevor up. We were like, it's fun. He's a lot of fun. He's doing all this other stuff, but like, I want to see him interact with Ted. I want to see him interact with Jamie. Like, that was some of the best stuff last year, and we're starting to get it again, and it was hilarious as ever. I love the dynamic between him and Jamie. And this show does such a cool job too of like sports shows usually don't represent sports accurately, like at all, really.
Right.
And I will say too, there are a lot more soccer actual scenes that are actually pretty good.
Yeah,
they're not bad.
Like for TV, I think they're pretty
For
good.
no one knows how to play defense, but I mean, like it's
you
fine.
have to, right? It's like a basketball
exactly.
show where it's just like this kid's a beast. It's like he has made 3 wide open right-handed layups.
Yeah, exactly.
Where is the defense?
Yeah, but if you have Danny Rojas and Jamie Tartt coming after you, I think they'd probably put us on skates too, or whatever the proper soccer term is for breaking your ankles.
Sorry,
I mean, like maybe they are good defenders.
Maybe
but
they are just that
that
good.
is some high-powered offense that Richmond has going on.
That's true.
I also had a weird soccer question. They got relegated, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the championship.
It's FA. Oh, it's FA. Okay, all right. Dumb question. Sorry. It was the FA Cup. I was like, why were they playing Tottenham? But I forgot it was the FA Cup, which is funny too with the line of like you're telling me
mid-season March Madness
tournament in the middle of the season with all the teams in the country. David's versus Goliath. All that is just I love the Americanized like viewpoint of it. Is really funny because it is how a lot of us look at soccer. Maybe serious people like Kevin, but the other part I was kind of getting into, and I kind of went on a tangent there, but they represent sports in a cool way too, because it's like we all know that guy that is such an asshole on another team, but you love him when he's on your team. And he's basically telling him, like, we need you to be that guy. We need you to be Draymond Green, or there's a lot of different people that kind of have that. Right. There's people
PJ
like
Tucker, go Bucks.
Go Bucks. So like I like that because it's something like kind of relatable in like real sports that's actually represented, and everyone kind of knows that guy. Even playing like high school sports, you've met that guy, that you've had him on your team before, you've had him not on your team before, and he's a prick, and it's part of his like I guess thing. And I actually, it was something I kind of thought about too. I'm like, Jamie Tartt like passing all the time is cool, but like I feel like they're losing all the time. They were actually better when he was just a ball hog prick. And they're finding that balance, and Roy Kent kind of bringing it out is really fun.
I think he ruined you. And it's just like, what do you mean? You're a selfish prick and tell.
Yeah.
So good.
Exactly.
So good.
You're a prick to your core. Be a prick.
Yeah.
But
and then there's the very end of the episode, that like big atomic bomb, like boom. Like I feel like everybody thought that it was going to be oh gosh, what's her name? I'm blanking on it. The owner. The owner. I thought everybody was like, it felt like from last episode, they were spoon feeding you on like their jump cuts of Ted on the phone and her on that dating app and all that kind of jazz. Episodes. And then it's like at the very end, like, hey, I think we should get to meet each other. And you're like, oh my God.
It's oh gosh,
Sam.
It's the Nigerian.
Sam.
Yes, the Nigerian.
Maybe I'm an idiot. And other people saw that coming, but that was like...
I think it was very clear they were spoon feeding us. If you call that coming, there was no reason to, I guess.
No.
Really no. That was like clearly we were misleading you on purpose,
which
is super interesting because that's like that's a weird dynamic for sure. It's just something though. It's like wow, that's not what I expected. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
But we saw Ted too have these like anxiety attacks in the first season. So it's very clear that has not been entirely dealt with, and I kind of think it's the family thing because things are starting to go well, and it's funny, and the show we always talk about all the heart it has, and it's a lot of fun, and then it can also be serious too because when she comes in at the end, and Jason Sudeikis, good for you, man, you're a great actor all the way around. The comedy, all that, just learn those lines are impressive to even the way you say them, and then you looks just beat at the end there, and he's like. They intro it in the beginning with like I'll come talk to you all the time, and then it's him at the end saying I think I need to make an appointment, and it was like real like dread, and there are actually some sports, anything you do, it's mentally taxing, and then to like be that far away from your family, it was actually a really cool like real moment there at the end, and I'm excited to see what happens next week. Now it might start to get a little real.
Yeah,
and what's crazy is I'm not scared of that. With like a normal like comedy type thing, if they tried to like make it real, I'd be like, here we go, like let's see how this goes. But it's like, no, I'm ready to cry, man. I'm ready to do whatever they want me to do.
Right. And Kevin, we were talking about last week. We're like, hey, Richmond, I love you, made some Ted Lasso and all, but y'all suck. Roy Kent, great hire. They're starting to come back. Here we come. They're actually starting to be a good team.
Yeah, like I don't know. Again, they have to do the whole like plot thing, but they also have to get promoted, get back in the Premier League.
Yep.
The FA Cup's going on right now, and
They're in the
apparently
shit.
Ted wants to go and win the damn thing there. There's a lot on our plates for Ted Lasso to
Wait, are
maybe
they in the
finish up
ship
this
or are they
season.
in the semifinal? Did they win the
Semis?
quarterfinal?
They just
I think
was
they won,
quarterfinal was that
yeah.
game.
Well, Final Four action?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't, how many episodes are, do you know?
10.
It's 10?
The first one.
What
is
are we
10.
at, 6?
This was 6.
Wow, so much left.
Lot
So
left.
much
Yeah.
left.
Mhm.
The best thing I can say about this show too is I've never not liked an episode.
Right.
Like
yeah.
even the first season, like there's not like almost every show's got that one. Like, all right, I'm not going to rewatch that. Or I liked every episode of season 1, and this season has gotten better every episode. Even the Christmas, like Kevin kind of said last week, it's like a filler episode. It's still a freaking awesome episode. And me and Trevor were talking about it. I'm gonna watch that every Christmas because it's freaking beautiful, heartwarming, Christmassy joy. So that's gonna be like on my Christmas list every year. So I'm gonna rewatch the heck out of that. Anything else, boys? Just pumped to see next week. Any other thoughts? Any character moment or anything super funny? Really came to mind.
Yeah, I agree. It's just like Elf used to be like open up the Christmas presents and turn on Elf, and like I'm sorry, Will Ferrell, but Jason Sudeikis is now in spot 1A on Christmas morning. I hate to break it to you.
I did want to bring up my aunt told me her theory this weekend. I'm interested to see what your guys' take is. When Sam meets up with the owner, is that going to be like a whole thing? Is he going to leave the club? I guess her prediction going forward is he's going to leave the club. Do you think that's going to be
like for another team or like
he's going to ask to get traded.
Oh, but
So
so
they
you don't
can
think
be
they're going to
together?
end up? So they can be together?
No, so because
You
it's
think
weird.
it's not going to go well?
I think it's not going to go well, and he's going to ask for a trade.
Interesting. I could see him ending somehow in this whole debacle, maybe not ending up on the team, which I would hate because I like Sam a lot.
Yeah,
I could see that though, because they picked him for a reason. I can't imagine it's going to be a one episode like, oh my gosh, that's weird. It's you. Yeah, no, I don't feel that way about you. Moving on. Like there's going to be something. And I'm fine with kind of whatever they do. Like
I was going to say,
they have my trust.
I think maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think Sam played this large of a role in season 1. It seems like season 2.
All the
He's
players
actually become like a large part, and he has an entire episode about the sponsorship on the jersey, and like they've done a lot to grow this character. Right. So part of me wants to say like I don't think that they're going to make him leave because they've dedicated a lot of time and energy into him. But also, I could see them being like, yeah, we've given you all this and you love this, and then we're going to like rip it away from you because we can do and you're going to be fine with it. Like
that's what happened in sports. You fall in love with your favorite guys and they get traded and they go to different teams and they've been accurate with their sports stuff. Like we've kind of praised them for, and unfortunately it probably means we're going to fall in love with some characters that are going to leave and come back later or see them on another team or maybe see them like once or twice a season after that. It sucks, but it's also makes the show so good. Did you guys know this? When first pitched, there was a 3-season arc, and now they haven't said that they're stopping after 3 seasons, but that was like the initial plan when pitched. But that was before it was so like well liked. So God, I hope not.
I hope not too.
I hope not. Jason Sudeikis could play this for 15 years, and I'll watch. So. All right, so that was our Ted Lasso spoilers, everybody. I'll go ahead and take that off. You can come back and join us if you hadn't seen it yet. And once you see it, go back and watch that. I always loved watching reviews of stuff after I watched it because it's like, I want to talk to somebody about it. And it's like, not everyone's seen it. So hit YouTube and find us.
Or don't have friends or something.
Right. Or don't have friends. Have friends.
Right.
Yeah, no, for sure. Also, before we move on, Kevin, did you notice what's in the top left-hand corner of Trevor there?
Oh, yeah, baby. Let's go, dude.
Kevin just read dude.
My brother is a disgustingly massive fan, and
really?
I've just like learned of it from him. I've just recently started reading a lot, I don't think I'm ready for like a
Dude.
700-page book. That kind of scares
The
me.
movie's coming out. You gotta
know.
read it before the movie
I
comes
want the
out.
movie first.
I kind of do too, JD.
Oh my
I
god.
want my cake and I want to eat it too with just the movie.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
if you like the movie, then
I
know where to
talked
go
to
for.
Connor, Trevor's brother.
Yeah.
He is a massive Dune fan, and we like tentatively penciled in. We'll hopefully get him in here for the Dune review because
Perfect.
he's like you. He's read the book. This is his most anticipated movie. Correct me if I'm wrong, Connor.
Like
if you see this, but like in years,
That's awesome.
It's like Lord of the Rings
really
level
cool.
hype. So
Yeah.
he can nerd out with you about book stuff, and maybe even me and Trevor will just be we didn't read it, but we'll be in on the review.
But this is what we thought of the movie.
Yeah.
Love
and
it.
you guys can tell us why we were wrong, and this was what was in the book.
Yeah.
And
The book's
all
better.
all those fun book people.
Yeah.
Oh,
make sure to wear my glasses that day.
Goblet of Fire is nothing like the book.
It's not.
It was sick.
And you didn't even earn it, dude.
No,
you didn't earn that happiness.
Oh, you didn't even know what was going to happen at the end of Deathly Hallows before it did?
Fucking
weird.
Idiot.
All right, so that was What You Watching. We're going to go quickly into some news. There's not a ton of news, slow news day, and then we'll go into our segments. All right, so that was us. We are serious guys doing serious news, and we're doing it very seriously. And we have a third member of our broadcast, the weatherman, Trevor here. Is Brick the weatherman in Anchorman?
Yeah.
All right, so you're the Brick of the serious guys doing serious news. I guess we're the 3 DCU today. I didn't even think about that. 3 guys.
Change the channel.
Yeah, it's over. All right, Trevor, you can't come on anymore. Sorry, the numbers they just don't.
2
work
dudes.
It's just 2 dudes.
At the beginning, yeah.
I'll start calling in or something like that.
Right.
Audio.
Right.
There you go.
2 dudes and a Trevor, we'll call.
Yeah.
So last week we reviewed Free Guy. Slow news week, like I said.
Yeah.
We reviewed Free Guy last week. Trevor has not seen it yet, but I know he has heard good things. I know his brother likes it. We talked about it for a little bit. And me and Kevin had a little differing opinions. So go ahead and go back and check that one out if you haven't seen it yet. And once you see Free Guy, go out and check the review. It doesn't go bad. It doesn't spoil. We like to talk about no current events. So you can't even tell that it was like forever ago. You know?
That's right. You can watch this video 10 years from now and it'll still be
like,
relevant.
oh yeah, Free Guy. I just checked that out.
Yeah.
Probably 10 years later. I really like that Ryan Reynolds. But anyways, Free Guy is getting a sequel. It did much better at the box office than Disney ever thought it would in a million years. I think it shocked everybody. I really liked the movie. Kevin was lukewarm on it, but he is
I'll
in the minority.
grudgingly walk to the theater to see the sequel.
Yeah, right. You'll see it.
I'll see it.
It's interesting because non-spoilers, and it very well ended in a place where it could have been done. Like it planned to be done.
Yeah, it didn't need a sequel.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to make a new plot for the sequel.
Yes. Yep. New plot. That being said, it's gonna have a lot of the same characters. It's a PG-13 movie. I don't think that's spoiler to it.
Yeah, I think Ryan Reynolds will make the cast list again.
Ryan Reynolds might be in the film.
Yeah.
It's not huge news. Kevin, you're probably not jacked for this. It's good to see. Personally, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds needs the success. I'm glad to see he's not struggling.
Right. He was going hungry there for a while, so it's good to see him actually get a good franchise, that he can really sink his teeth into. But yeah, Free Guy getting a sequel. That's a little something. Last week, also, go check out our Spider-Man trailer reaction. We also reviewed the MCU Phase 1 and ranked them, as well as ranked the bad guys in the MCU's Phase 1. We're going to try to get those Phase 2 and Phase 3 videos out before we do Shang-Chi next Tuesday. So look out for those later this week and maybe even over the weekend or early next week before that as well. But Spider-Man trailer, a record trailer watch. It had, Kevin, and this is a real number, 355.5 million people tuned in across the globe to watch a 2.5-minute clip for a movie that comes out in 3 months. Pretty freaking incredible.
Yeah, you got to wonder how many of those views were due directly because of our recap of it. But
most, I'll take credit for 70 million.
Even still, without the 70 mil, that's impressive.
Yeah,
just as a trailer run. This smashed Endgame's record. This is people.
The Batman that came out pretty much a year before that,
right?
smashed
Yeah.
it in about 2
Yep.
days.
Mhm.
2 days and had beaten a year's worth of views from like Batman, which is a huge upcoming movie.
It's just people pent up needing a movie release of people that they've already seen. They know what to expect, except expect the unexpected with this goddamn movie. Because Doctor Strange does what he wants, and Tom Holland's a goofball that we're gonna just laugh at for an hour and a half. It's gonna be great. So
Trevor, I'm sure you watched the trailer. What were your kind of thoughts on it? Just kind of quickly.
I watched it like probably 3 or 4 times, and I just loved it. I love him in MJ, and I'm a massive Tom Holland fan. Just like anything I see his face on, I just have to watch it. I think he is the best Peter Parker and Spider-Man combo of all 3. I don't think that that's like a hot take. I just think it looked absolutely amazing. It's a little different that it looks like maybe Doctor Strange is the reason why things are starting to break up and go all over the place. But again, I trust Marvel, and especially with their Spider-Man movies, that there's probably a whole lot going on there that they showed us that we don't know that we saw, and a whole lot that we think that we saw that wasn't even there. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing is I think they are misleading us on purpose with stuff. I think even though it feels like we saw a lot, and you can go back and listen to our reaction. We'll keep this brief because we kind of talked about it for a good half an hour the other day. But even though it feels like we got a lot, I think we got actually like just kind of the baseline of the plot, and a lot of what you saw, I think, is either like direct miscuts because at one point the hello Peter, and then they cut to our Tom Holland looking up. That could very well be a Tobey Maguire, and it's just cut. It's cut. Marvel knows what they're doing. It's cut to make us look this way, and it's actually this way.
It's a multiverse movie. It has magic as a central theme.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of
5 different Doctor Strange and 5 different Spider-Mans, and we would have never known because they look the exact same.
Exactly.
So it's very cool. Obviously, the teasers for the bad guys. I would love some William Dafoe. But yeah, a lot of people watched that freaking trailer. Not only did it have 355.5 mil views, 4.5 million mentions on social media. So I tell you what, no one knows how to draw buzz like Marvel. And everyone sat there and was like, we want the Spider-Man trailer. We want the Spider-Man trailer. We want the Spider-Man trailer. And Feige's like, yeah, I'm just going to keep you guys on the line. That way, when I do drop it, it's going to freaking explode. Smart man. Just keep it on Marvel real quick. Shang Chi comes out Friday. I know we've talked about it's had amazing reviews. I'm pumped to see that. I know Kevin's pumped to see that now that it's game week, baby.
Game week.
Trevor, thoughts on Shang-Chi? What's your excitement level now that we're 4 days away?
Yeah, excitement level very high. I mean, after the unloading of like Captain America, Iron Man, all of those, I mean, like the Avengers in the Marvel universe got really thinned out really quickly in a matter of 20 minutes.
Right.
So,
and lost a lot of headliners.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, and so I don't think it's a surprise to anybody that they have to reload. I don't really know if we're going to keep it sports-wise, call this like a rebuilding year, but we need to bring in some talent, and I love heavy hand-to-hand combat movies, things like that. From everything that I've seen, it looks like they're not pulling any punches, and I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's usually like when it's this universal, like that means they nailed it. I tend to go with the crowd. I'm not one of those guys who's just like I disagree with reviews, but usually when it comes like the comic book movies, like everyone said Endgame was good. Shocker, I loved Endgame. Right, I was nervous about this because like until the reviews, because I don't know, it's an origin story. Origin stories are tough, especially this late. Like you said, we need some big time. We need some new headliners. It's great to see that this has great reviews, and it's great to see how giddy that Kevin Feige is for the Eternals. Mm-hmm. Seems like we're in good hands. So, and then you got obviously your big headliner in Spider-Man and Sony. I don't know what you guys are doing, but please let us keep him in Marvel.
Don't take him from me. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah. So we're pumped for that. we'll have that review will be next week's episode. So we'll do a little non-spoiler and then we'll do a full spoiler. So if you can see it over opening weekend, if you can't, watch it when you can and then come visit us because that, like we said, that'll be up, forever. So
go to the midnight on Thursday release and then refresh our Twitter feed.
Yes.
We'll be tweeting about it.
No, I won't. I will say I won't see it opening night because
really?
The Ohio State Buckeyes open their football season on Thursday, Kevin. And
That's right.
that is what I will be doing. So
that's right.
The national championship starts Thursday. So, but yes, I will see it this weekend, probably with Trevor, if I had to guess. Maybe a little matinee because his work schedule's a little weird. So but we'll be ready to go for next week. Anything else? Any news? Anything else you guys really want to throw out there?
I haven't seen a whole lot, honestly.
It's been pretty dead. It was like last weekend was the Spider-Man trailer and the Eternals trailer, and we had lots of news to talk about this week. It's just kind of gearing up for probably another big week. Kevin, you talked about the Batman trailer being released.
Yeah,
there was that.
No,
there
was a press conference
on that.
It was just rumored that there might be something that Warner Brothers put out because they had a press conference that day. It was paired up with another movie. Oh, God, I don't remember what it was, but yeah, they released some stuff for the first movie, and Batman
Nobody
didn't get anything.
Gossip, Trevor.
I know. I saw multiple tweets about it, so I thought I'd bring it up and hope for the best, but we didn't get a trailer, so that's just unfortunate.
I want one so bad. Oh,
I know.
I can't wait for that freaking movie.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll move on then. So this was actually a question, or not a question, just kind of a fun little segment idea that kind of came from Connor, who is where Trevor is at Connor's. Let me pull it up here real quick. It was kind of like a fun little idea of like a desert island. So you're on a desert island, right? Here's the situation. Let me lay it out for you. You're on a desert island. On this desert island, you are stuck there. It's like living on a desert island in every aspect, except for the fact that you have a stocked fridge with movie snacks. You have a flat screen TV, a lazy boy recliner, and you have one streaming service with perfect Wi-Fi. Perfect Wi-Fi. You just kind of happen to fall there. Have you ever seen the SpongeBob episode where they get stranded and they just like the airplane dumps out like the entire perfect, like food and TV and
all hail the magic conch.
Yes, the magic conch. That's what just happened to you. But you're not getting rescued, at least not for a long, long while.
Great.
So it's only loaded with one streaming service, though, on this desert island. What streaming service would you want on your desert island? And again, this is not the best. So it's just kind of the merits of like you're in a situation where it's like, I'm going to be bored as shit. I need to like something that's going to get me through until I get rescued or whatever. So it's not the best. Right off the bat, I want to say HBO Max, but that's my favorite. I'll throw it out there right now. HBO Max, I think, has the best television, some of the best movies. They always get big name movies on there. You just can't beat high level HBO content. But the problem with HBO is it's quality over quantity. Yep. I think you'd run out of HBO shows pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
So thoughts on HBO? Is that kind of where you guys are at on the HBO train?
I wouldn't personally go HBO. I do love HBO.
HBO Max, by the way.
Or HBO Max, yeah. But it's like, I think I got like 4 days worth of watching, and then I'm building sandcastles until I come and get rescued. So. Right. Yeah, it's a major quality over quantity, tiptoeing that happy line of what you'd go with.
Kevin,
so what would you go with?
I would go personally probably with Hulu. I think I might have found a loophole. Things get uploaded the day after on Hulu. So if something I'm really interested in is still going on while I'm stranded, I can still keep up on those shows that are coming out. I also think that they do have like a lot of good shows. I mean, that's where Dave is at, one of my favorite shows ever. So I really like that. They also, I hate to always bring it back to this, but as far as non-strictly anime streaming services go, their collection isn't horrible. So there's a lot of Naruto Shippuden. There's a lot of that kind of jazz on Hulu.
HBO has Crunchyroll, correct?
I think so, but actually, I
Yeah, it
just
does.
remember reading like literally 2 days ago that Funimation bought Crunchyroll for like $1.2 billion or something like that just a couple days ago.
For a couple cartoons.
Yeah. So I think Hulu is my pick.
Hulu's a really good pick. I'll talk about Hulu a little more. Kevin, what do you think?
So I think I might actually have to go with Amazon Prime. If I'm stuck
Interesting.
on
Okay.
a
You can't
desert
buy
island,
stuff. You can't buy stuff on Amazon Prime.
that's fine.
Okay.
That's
all right.
totally okay.
All right.
Even
you
though
don't have a credit card.
Fair enough. Even though the payment method's already saved and it's whatever, it's fine.
No,
you can take away that loophole, but I still think
you obviously don't understand this island.
in terms of just collecting shows over the years, if it's not on anything else, it's on Prime.
Yeah.
Like Psych, NCIS, all the bingeable shows throughout my whole life, they're on Prime. And if they're not on Prime, as soon as their Netflix subscription or as soon as their HBO permissions run out, it's gonna be on Prime. So I don't know. In terms of just collecting and not letting go of any shows, that would be my choice.
To your point on Prime, a plus of Prime that would be over Hulu. With Hulu, you're getting, and Hulu is where I'm kind of leaning myself. Hulu, you're getting a lot, and you're still getting solid movies, right? Like not like HBO level movies, but you're getting a lot of movies, and you're getting movies you want to watch. But on top of that, you're getting like all the FX stuff. I really like I watched What We Do in the Shadows. That's funny. You're getting kind of all that. Like you're getting Dave. You're getting Rick and Morty. You're getting kind of like the pop culture, like actual on TV FX and Comedy Central. You're getting like that stuff. But to your point, Kevin, on Prime, you're getting that stuff probably just later. And like if you're there for a while, like who cares? Like what's new and that week, if it's new to you in a year, it's new to you in a year.
Yep.
And you still get like Hulu originals kind of suck. Like I don't even think I've ever even watched the Hulu original. You're still getting The Boys, and you're still getting like, Invincible, and you're still getting like really good like original streaming content as well as a lot of that stuff. That being said, I don't think you're getting NCIS and kind of really old stuff. I haven't checked out Prime, I guess, in a lot. I don't think you're getting Dave for a really long time.
No,
you know what I mean? Like stuff I really like on Hulu, I don't think you're getting.
Okay. All right, that's fair. But I don't know how many things on Hulu I prefer to like The Boys or Invincible.
It's true.
You know?
I mean, The Boys and Invincible might be my two favorite TV shows, not named Ted Lasso in succession.
Yeah.
Like those are probably my big four right now. Apple TV's tough just because it's new and
there's like 7 things on it.
Right. You would never pick that just out of. I'm just kind of going to go through the merits of each here. Apple TV. Obviously, it would suck to live without Ted Lasso, but you might just have to. And maybe you wouldn't feel overly optimistic on a desert island anyway. Yeah. So maybe Ted Lasso would start to annoy you on a desert island. Weirdly enough, I've really become kind of anti-Netflix.
Me too.
The merit of Netflix, I will say, you won't run out of anything. They throw so much crap at you. If you're there for freaking 50 years, you will have.
It probably still has the best movie catalog. Yeah,
exactly. You'll have relevant movies, blockbuster movies. You'll probably Netflix is
the
one
originals.
of the first ones to get movies too.
Yeah,
like I feel like a couple years out. You'll probably end up, but you don't. I don't like Netflix originals in a lot of ways. I really don't. But I guess when you're just like, let's pass the time. They're not terrible binge shows. Like that's the one thing about Netflix. And you can find your thing and you can watch so much content. That's the merit of Netflix in a way that if we were just talking straight up best streaming service, it would be near the end of my list. It might be near my top in this desert island scenario.
Yeah, I mean, it does have originals that I really like, although there are way too many Netflix originals. The whole joke of if you want a show, just ask Netflix, they'll give it to you. Over lunch or whatever. But, it has, like, for the comedy lovers, it has Big Mouth, For the drama lovers, it has Peaky Blinders. And, somewhere in the middle, it has BoJack Horseman and stuff. There is good Netflix originals on there.
And to your point, some of the stuff that went through, sorry not to interrupt, but some of the stuff that went through Amazon Prime that you're talking about, it's had times on Netflix. It rotates through there.
Yeah,
The League has been on Netflix. Like some FX shows have been on Netflix. Like not as much lately, so we'll see. But I'm gonna go with my pick, who I haven't even mentioned yet. I'm gonna go with Disney Plus. And I was leaning towards Hulu before, and half of it's just for parody, I'm gonna be honest. But I don't want to live in a world where I can't keep up with the Marvel Cinematic Universe or what's going on in Star Wars. Those are like my two biggest like franchises ever. If we had Harry Potter on there, it wouldn't even be close. I will say that. But like you got those two big things. They're starting to make a shit ton of TV. They're coming out with movies. You get to keep up to date with Star Wars and Marvel. If you're there for years, that's a fun concept. That's a big night. Something to look forward to. It's a big night on the island. You're getting nice coconut. You know, you're breaking out the double buttered popcorn that you save for the special occasions. You only got so much. You're getting the Sour Patch Kids instead of like Mike
strapping on that coconut bra.
Right. Yeah. You're having a night.
We're taking it off.
That's right. Yeah.
Really letting it fly.
Just enjoying the sand. You know, you're talking to your crab best friend. You know, he's sitting down. You're watching it together. That and there's weirdly enough, there is a lot on Disney Plus. And in a situation where you're probably depressed as crap on a desert island, nostalgia, man, might keep you going. Yeah. Just remembering you don't have a lot to look forward to, so you might go backwards in the fact that like I just want to remember good times. I can watch a lot of Disney.
Sweet Life on
a lot of Disney Channel.
Yeah,
I can watch a lot of Disney Channel. So that's going to be my pick. Okay. Thoughts on Disney Plus? That
crossed my mind, and then I thought it was for some reason I kind of thought it was like HBO-ish, where it was like,
it is.
Is there enough there? Because it is still very new, but their catalog runs so far and so deep. But when I think of Disney Plus, I mostly think of like movies, but that's because I don't go there now to watch Sweet Life on Deck and all of those old like Disney shows. So I didn't even think about those like when I was coming up.
I wouldn't watch it now, but on a desert island, I'd probably have like a Disney Channel original movie night every night.
Yeah, 100%. Like you would know all of the words to High School Musical by the time that you got saved. But it's like I don't know.
I would know it pre-crash too. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. But so yeah, no, I actually.
I was gonna say you
flying. Sorry.
Yeah, there's not a star in heaven that we can't reach. But so it's like I actually really really like that take, and I didn't like it at first, but you talked me into it actually.
Any other thought? What did we miss? Peacock, I guess. Like if you're going subscription, you're getting like The Office and Parks and Rec and stuff. But I don't need that, and I feel like those rotate enough.
They
no matter what you get, you might get it at some point. It's better.
I think at least one of those is on Netflix or on Amazon, by the way. But
really,
I also want to point out Amazon Prime. Highest chance that Jeff Bezos will find you on the deserted island.
It's true.
That's all I know.
How?
When he's orbiting,
he's just checking his subscribers.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, I'm looking at my demographics, and we have one islander in the middle of nowhere, just a dot that someone seems to be watching. I want to go meet that guy. See what he likes.
Exactly.
Also, Kevin, to your point, you're getting your Lord of the Rings show.
Done. No, I don't need anything else. Just leave me with.
That's it. I'll just watch it on repeat.
Oh yeah, I will watch that pilot until I die if the next episode doesn't come out.
I think we all have actual pretty solid reasons for our choices and a little parody there. Because originally I was coming in Hulu, and Trevor makes a lot of good points for Hulu, and that was the one I was probably going to argue, even though, again, this is different than my real list. My real list would probably be like HBO, Disney Plus, 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
And then Hulu, Amazon, all right, maybe Prime first, just because Prime's got better. Like Hulu would not be high on my list. Both Netflix and Hulu are higher on this list than they would be if we're just talking like favorite streaming services.
Yep, 100%. Amazon was a fantastic pick.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I thought it sucked.
I felt pretty good coming into this, and then I hear you guys talk about it. I'm like, I'm not upset with Hulu, but I'm like, there's some really good things. I'm just seeing that I didn't think deeply about this in the slightest.
No, honest to God, I came in thinking Hulu was going to be my answer.
Yeah,
I thought Hulu was going to be both of your guys' answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, again, the classic Trevor-Kevin rivalry rages because they hate each other's picks.
Fresh as ever.
All right. So with that, let's move right into the real reason we've all come here today.
Oh man.
The rivalry renewed to a whole new level. We have Kevin versus Trevor. Actually, me and Kevin versus Trevor in theory. Trevor, anime. It sucks. Why doesn't it suck? We're going to give you.
Why Charlie hate?
We are going to give you, as long as you want, to go on your rant. When you're done with your rant, you're done with your initial pitch. Let us know. We will. I clicked the wrong banner. We're not reviewing a movie. Silly. But either way, I'll fix it in a second. But
good.
Yeah, go ahead, hit your rant, and then we will ask questions and give rebuttals, and you will give us reasons why we should try anime, known anime haters.
Okay. So I'm going to start with something I think is glaringly obvious when it comes to anime, and it's people think that people that like anime are super weird. And I think it gets a bad rap because I feel like there's a lot of like those 6th and 7th graders that really get into Naruto and Dragon Ball Z and all that kind of stuff. And it's not anime's fault. It's really puberty and the time of the life that child is in. They are at peak hormonal like output, and they're also still young enough to have a super crazy high-powered imagination to where like in Black Widow, where her sister makes fun of her, is like, why do you always like land with your head down and like flip your hair up? Like, those are the types of kids that are doing that in gym class. You know what I mean? But they're like imagining themselves actually.
Tails.
They're like doing like double backflips in their minds because their imagination is so strong. But they're also like pumping out estrogen and testosterone at record high levels that they don't even understand really what they're doing. So I'm going to preface this with that. Okay, then I have just a couple bullet points here. So it kind of reminded me of what you said with Titans, JD, of like.
I didn't think we were going to go puberty, but all right.
Yeah, I know, off the bat.
I'm sorry, keep going. I love this.
So it kind of it's kind of like Titans. Okay, so no, I'm going to start in this other spot. So because we're going with the quantity over quality and things like that. If there is one thing that there is not a shortage of on planet Earth, it's anime. The catalog is probably larger than the galaxy that we know is ever expanding, to be completely honest with you. There is so much crap out there. And I will say there is a lot of crap out there, but there is also so much good. So like when you're watching your Ted Lassos, your Invincibles, everything like that, seemed like years ago when things were starting to be released, they would just dump it on you like Netflix does with Outer Banks and says, binge this in 10 hours, which has its strengths. But I think most people are now saying, no, we kind of like that we're going week by week. But that leaves you on your Tuesday afternoon like, what should I watch? What should I do? You know what I mean? Anime is my fill-in for anything that I'm not actively watching. You'll never run out of it. You can find a lot of good there. So that's one large strength about it. Another really large strength is, like you said, JD, with Titans, how, the only real cool combat that happens is with the Robins because it's doable and it's hand-to-hand and all that kind of stuff. With TV shows, one of the largest problems is having the money, having the time, having the budget, having the skill to make this look super, super cool. And a lot of TV shows can't, which is why shows like Invincible or, Avatar: The Last Airbender, which are not animes, but animated shows, and anime is the same way. You can quickly create something super badass and super cool because you're just drawing it. You're not even doing Photoshop and all of the After Effects and things like that. That's another thing I love about anime is just, this sounds kind of weird, but it's beautiful. And some of the old animes really look like somebody was in art class and was like doodling it. Some of the stuff now is absolutely insane, the animations that they're using and how realistic, and that just goes along with how badass they can make everything. And then also just like everybody kind of likes that every popular anime has that one dude that's like Kakashi Sensei in Naruto, Captain Levi in Attack on Titan. There's a guy named Tomioka in Demon Slayer but they're like the way too cool for school, like ultra badass. You don't get to see them fight that often, but when they do, they're whooping everything and they're just super dope. those are just a couple of my reasons, but I don't want to go on for like 25 minutes because I want to kind of hear what you're saying just off of that instant.
So my first question I have to ask, just get out of the way. How much hentai porn do you watch a week?
Yeah, that would be my first question too.
I don't want to put.
You don't want that out there.
I'm gonna go with the strong 0.
Okay. All right. No, but seriously, one thing that did catch me there, I like your filler argument. I often find myself like, oh, I don't know what to watch on like a Tuesday as I'm like falling asleep. It seems like good.
YouTube, just refreshing YouTube.
Seems like you use it as that kind of, oh, I don't know what to watch. I'm, in school studying, or I'm going to bed, or I got some work stuff to do. It sounds like good background stuff. If that kind of
you definitely can. I know a lot of people that do it, and I even do it when I'm at work and I have stuff going on, but I'm just like trying to just like mindlessly hear something to make the day continue on. I'm not even really watching it, a whole lot. Like I'm in the middle of Dragon Ball Z right now, and it's like I kind of know what's going on.
That's anime, right?
Yeah. That's like I don't want to call it. It's like one of the most popular animes. I'm actually not.
I know Dragon Ball Z, but I know it's anime-esque. So this is another question I have then. As a kid, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh. Would you consider Yu-Gi-Oh anime?
It's actually a great question. It's very similar.
The art style.
It's very similar. The art style is very similar, and just the overall. Like the way the dialogue works, things like that. That's one big con that a lot of people have with animes is like, it's so cheesy. It's so this, it's so that. But it all comes from, basically like comic books, you know what I mean? And so a lot of it can kind of feel comic booky. If you can get past that, you can actually, one thing I really like about it is that it's easily digestible and it's quick. You can get into these main characters, a lot of the good ones. The best part about them is that you're invested in these main characters very quickly, and that helps you kind of look past all of the, the kind of cringy, like one-liners that get spurted out there every once in a while and stuff. But no, I think Yu-Gi-Oh is, if it's not technically an anime, it is the closest thing that you can
It's a gateway drug to anime.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
1000%. That is like the marijuana of anime.
Gotcha. And you're full on Naruto. You're shooting.
I'm a heroin crack addict.
You're just smoking on Naruto now, and you just can't stop.
Yeah. Another kind of last ditch effort, which I'm again going to try to use some of your own words against you, JD, as Marvel and Star Wars, two of my favorite franchises of all time.
Mm-hmm.
September 22nd, Star Wars Visions.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
That is like, that was God telling me like, these guys might beat you
Good
down
timing.
in the argument, but I'm gonna give you like one last thing to like throw out there, because and I should have studied better for this when it comes to the Star Wars Visions, but I'm kind of one of those people that if I see something and I know that I'm gonna love it and I've only seen like one snippet of it, I try my best to keep my distance away from it, because I feel like I could easily like get too invested, see too much, all those types of things. I just want to get punched in the face with happiness, like when I first see it. So, but it looks, it's a 1000% that is an anime, and I love anime. I love Star Wars, and I'm hoping that enough people like Star Wars enough to be like, yeah, we'll give this a shot.
Isn't it an anthology?
Yes. Yeah. So from what I have read, it's like going to be like nine little like, not movie series, but I don't think that all of the episodes are actually going to like interact with each other.
It's like different art styles too, right? It's like it's its own creative team every episode.
Yeah. From what I've seen, so it'll have a little different art style, but it's and then like all the stories I believe are going to be that there. It's not going to be like episode 2 starts up where episode 1 ended. It's from what I've heard and seen. But like I said, I try my best to like keep away from a lot of that kind of stuff, because I just want like a full tsunami of Star Wars anime to punch me in the face on the 22nd. So
Star Wars is helping your case. I'm not gonna lie, because I saw the trailer, and again, I watched it. I'm like, this isn't really for me, but I pretty much will try anything story. Yeah, I will pretty much try anything Star Wars. So.
I'll also say that like I've had this conversation with numerous people now where it's like the, over the top, like guy screaming and you see like the lines like flashing by his face. He's like, and he's like powering something real.
Super Saiyan. I don't even watch it, and I know what that is.
And it's like, if there's something about that if you can really get yourself into it, I mean, that makes the hair on your legs like stand up. Like it is bad ass. You just have to like take that really nasty shot of like apple cider vinegar anime, and like if you can get past it, it's gonna go for you. One other thing, and I think this will be probably the end of my argument, is that there's a lot of parallels to things that I know all three of us really enjoy, like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Harry Potter, all of those massive franchises that are like billion-dollar corporations and ideas and books and stories and everything. So like Attack on Titan is by far one of the most popular animes ever.
Definitely.
It's very similar to like Helm's Deep and Lord of the Rings style. A lot of the action and fighting. It's, everything is a giant wall, and they're fighting against Titans on the outside. It is Helm's Deep to its core. It's like very old style. They're all on horses, things like that. It does have, it's not, the same thing, but it definitely has its parallels. You have animes like My Hero Academia, which is my personal favorite, about these kids that grow up with superpowers and they're going to school to learn how to
These all TV shows?
Yes, yeah.
But there are movies?
There are anime movies. I've watched a couple, but I don't
prefer the like 20-minute story in and out.
100%.
I think if I were to try it, that's more of a selling point.
It's so much more digestible that way. 100%.
Yeah, that's more of a selling point to me.
If you're a superhero kind of guy, The Boys, Marvel, things like that. My Hero Academia is all about these kids learning how to use their powers. It's so dope. And then JD, one other argument I have against you, JD, is that
against you personally,
you're just a bad person.
We've had and you stink. So we've had conversations.
You can't smell through the screen.
Yeah,
it's bad.
We've had conversations where you've literally told me there needs to be more movies and video games about samurais and ninjas.
I have said that.
It's a cool genre.
I can't tell you that there's a place that has more about samurais and ninjas.
Fair. Wow. You got me there. That was after Ghost of Tsushima. I went on a rant in our group message of like, you know what? There was Last Samurai, and now there's Ghost of Tsushima, and in 20 years, there hasn't been any freaking dope. They're like HBO style level samurai show, and I want it.
Yep.
So that's not your worst argument. Okay, so something I want to ask. If I were, me, so we have a friend, me and Kevin have a friend who was a Japanese miner. Shout out our friend Blevin.
Love Blev.
But he is loves the Japanese culture to the point where the anime, he tried for us. I do think it was English. I do think it was dubbed, but it was so anime.
Out of left field.
I feel like the most. One of them was One Punch Man. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I don't mess with that.
Yeah, that's hardcore, right?
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore.
That's part of our issue.
What's some lukewarm water anime that we can dip our toe in?
That's what I was going to ask. What do I dip my toe in?
Lukewarm water anime is My Hero Academia is the most digestible. It's 20-minute episodes. You get through the first season. I think the first season is 20 episodes, so it's not a huge time investment. Like I said, it's fast-paced, quick. You fall in love with the main characters very quickly. You see how everything can work, how cool these powers are. It's got some twists and turns. It's very good. That is amazing. JD, when it comes to the samurais and things like that, Demon Slayer is right up your alley. That is 15 episodes. It's not long at all. They're continuing to make it, so we're only through, I think, the first 2 seasons, but very, very, that's very digestible. A little bit harder. The one thing I love about My Hero Academia is that it's set in modern day. So it's not total samurai things, which makes it feel more like The Boys in Marvel.
Are the characters all Japanese?
So they're like they have the Japanese names, which is one thing that can be kind of difficult. The one thing I do like about My Hero Academia is that they have their superhero names, which are much more like Americanized. So you can like get to know these people a little bit easier. Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan was super badass. Some of the most like cool hand-to-hand fighting style.
Yeah, that has some graphic fights that I've seen on YouTube.
Yes, yeah, that one is like by far the most.
That might be your best chance for me.
That it is very gory, but it's very cool. It's super badass. I mean, like there's Naruto, but that's pretty anime, so I'm not gonna toss you guys Naruto.
There's like a million episodes and like a sequel show, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
5 movies on Netflix.
Yeah. That. So I think as far as like lukewarm, I think that Disney is going to do a fantastic job with Visions.
Great.
Attack on Titan is very good. I tell everybody I know, My Hero Academia is one of the best TV shows I've ever watched.
Are these all available?
So My Hero is on Hulu.
Okay.
Attack on Titan.
That's Netflix, right?
Attack on Titan and the Beast Slayers are what you have me with right now.
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
Demon
Maybe My Hero. Yeah, they might get a couple episodes of each, and if one sticks, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, 100%. Sure, I'll shoot these a couple episodes each.
I believe that they're all on the normal streaming services, but I don't know which ones. Now that
you're watching them,
I am. But now that I have a Funimation account, it's like I've kind of forgotten what other services they're on because that's like my main.
If they're not on anything, just know.
You have,
you're gonna have to send us your information.
1,000%. I think I have like 10 signups, and I'm the only person I know that watches anime. Yeah, so
we usually make fun of you for it.
Even if somebody's just listening to this, just in the comments, I might send you the login.
Just put your email down there.
Yeah, all right.
I am that passionate.
That's a promotion for
spreading anime.
Like and subscribe, and you will get Trevor's account information for anime.
This is the first sponsored video that we've ever had.
Trevor, our main sponsor, Trevor.
Yeah. But yeah, so I hope that, I think I hit most of my points. There's a great variety. Yeah, there's something out there for everybody, and you
have made good points.
Yeah,
you have done an excellent job. I went into this thinking I'll probably, no matter what he says, I'll probably try something just to say I did.
Yeah,
I am actually genuinely like I'm going to give it a fair shake. The Attack on Titan probably is what I'm leaning to first.
Yeah.
Just because you had me with there's some really cool action sequences. Because I never thought that animation could be cool in general, like with the action sequences. And then I watched Invincible, and I'm like, oh, this is actually sick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there was some stuff in Clone Wars that was actually really sweet for animation. Like a lot of times you don't really watch it for that. So I think I'm genuinely going to give it a realistic shot. This is not a guarantee I'm going to like it. I still am. I have a lot of reservations about it, and it might be something like, okay, yep, that's decent filler, but I don't hate it, but I don't watch it regularly. That could also be, and maybe I turn into anime fan. I'm just like the Goku guy for Halloween.
You're buying a backpack in the near future.
Right.
And now you're that weird 6th grader in the corner that when I come over to swim, you're
Naruto run.
How did we get past that? Trevor's opening argument was 6th to 7th grade girls and boys going through puberty.
Yeah.
Never did I think that's
I don't know why you started digging yourself in a hole immediately.
I liked it.
A weird choice to win an argument.
I luckily just recently
this show,
but we all know those people that were it was not good, and then you were like, well, what's different between you and them? And you're like, oh, well, they watch Naruto, and you're like, well, that must create kids to be crazy.
Yeah,
I
guess
it was interesting to say, hey, you should watch this show. Confused 7th graders who are hopped up on hormones love it.
Yeah,
right.
What a weird way to
strong opener.
Yeah, I love it though. When you open with that, I'm like, all right, this was right away. I'm like, What a great segment idea.
Yeah.
This was already a success as soon as you went there. Already a success for the show. We'll see if it works out for us, though. Kevin, last thoughts here? You're going to try it as well, it seems like?
Yeah, I'll try it. Why not? Demon Slayer,
there
whatever,
one-
the 15 episodes. Yeah, sure.
Demon
That's
Slayer,
easy.
the fact that it's only 15 episodes, and I know so far, does make me maybe lean towards that. And I am a sucker for samurai content.
Yeah.
You use a lot of my words against me. So if I'm a logical man that I claim I am, I have to try these things.
When you texted me last week and said you want to try this, I don't think normally when you talk, I don't listen.
Fair.
Right.
Neither did Kevin, and neither do the listeners.
Yeah. But since then, I've been taking mental notes on everything that you say. When
I was wondering why you've been
Cataloging.
just walking around with paper and pen, just studying me. It's been very strange. So from here on out, after I try anime, you will no longer listen to me as a person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smart. I say a lot
Very
of
cool.
stupid stuff.
Yeah.
20% of it is even like semi-understandable. So yeah, no, there's people watch this show to bully Kevin and to ignore me.
Yep.
That is what
Those
they
are the two things. Yeah.
Those are the two things. We are starting a bullying Kevin hashtag campaign on Twitter.
I'll
Hashtag Bloody Kev.
Between me and you, we'll mute Kevin. You can't hear us. Between me and you, we're laughing at Kevin in this show.
Yes. Can be.
Right. So the classic rivalry of Trevor and Kevin, we have a mutual handshake agreement to try something. This might be known on August 30th, 2021. The Treaty of Anime has been signed. But that being said, we don't really, actually follow treaties very often. So it is a good chance that, the rivalry will continue and rage on from there. So we're going to try anime. In Two Dudes versus Anime, round 1 anime.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well done, anime.
Well done. Represented by Trevor and his I'm told it's not an Under Armour jacket. I'm told it's a UA something.
Upper Arlington in Columbus.
Upper Arlington, yeah. Is that one of the shows you said, by the way?
This is My Hero Academia. This is
I love superheroes.
You know what they say? Trevor is always repping the big A.
That's the big A anime.
Big A.
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows.
That's right. This podcast practices the big A anime. So thank you so much, Trev. Trev will be on in the future, I'm sure.
Yep.
He just kind of won't leave me alone and is just constantly begging to get on the show. So he'll probably.
What's your Twitter handle, just in case people like to listen to what you have to say?
Trev Daddy 34. TREVDADDY 34.
Yeah, maybe I'll throw that in the end there as a thank you. Trevor, thank you for coming on. It was a blast. We will have you in the future. Trevor is a average nerd like the rest of us. He will be here for Star Wars reviews and Marvel reviews and stuff like that in the future. That, of course, is Kevin down there. Thank you, Kevin, of course. Kevin, am I right, everybody? I'm looking down on you always, just so you know. I am JD, the real reason you've all tuned in here today. Thank you guys so much. This has been the 2DCU, Two Dudes versus Anime here. Fun segment. Can't wait to have Trevor on in the future. Follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube. Please like, comment, share. Anything helps. We're just trying to get started. And it could go a long way. If you like Trevor, or if you don't like, if you don't like Trevor,
specifically, if you don't like Trevor,
if you don't like Trevor, comment, and we will easily never have him on again because
Tell me what sort of raw meat you think I smell like. If it's on a hot day, like pork, beef, octopus, calamari.
It is a humid afternoon in August in Ohio. What raw meat does Trevor just waft out of him right now? Go ahead and comment that. And there is a right answer. And if you win, you will get
winner gets that code to that anime.
Winner gets Trevor's sign-in. So we're everywhere you can get podcast. We will be on Apple soon. Thank you guys so much. This has been the
Thank you guys.
Today it's been the 3DCU.
Peace and blessings, guys. Thank you.
See ya.